Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cover Zero podcast, the show where I cover the least in the best way possible. I'm your host, Jason Wells. It is here. This is the Super Bowl preview show, and I got two guys joining me. We got our resident Niners fan, Cam, and the ever-disappointing Bills fan with Keegan. Keegan, I'll start with you. How disappointing is it to be in the same conference as Pat Mahomes?
It sucks because it doesn't matter who you got at quarterback or how much time you give him on the clock. It just doesn't matter. He's got some voodoo magic. So at this point, you just kind of accept that. Just watch my quarterback play at Pebble Beach every year, not the Super Bowl.
As someone who's also a fan of an AFC team, not a fan that as soon as Brady leaves, we get Mahomes and his run of greatness. And then we get Cam, who's stuck in the NFC, where somehow Brock Purdy might be the best NFC quarterback we have right now. So,
ain't no might. Ain't no might.
So Cam, we're back 4 years later. Chiefs, Niners. Are we going to get a different outcome hopefully this time?
I really hope so. And I think piggybacking on what you guys were saying earlier, the key to beating Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl is you need a late round quarterback. So Kyle Shanahan knows that, and he's going to win this time.
The full preview of the game in a little bit. But yeah, this episode, obviously a lot happening still in the NFL world. So we'll start off with one coaching hire, move on to some NFL award talk, NFL Hall of Fame. Then we'll dive into everything Super Bowl. So the one coaching hire that has happened coordinator-wise anyways, it is official. The Chargers are bringing in Greg Roman to be their new offensive coordinator. Obviously, Roman has experience with Jim Harbaugh before, as he was the Niners offensive coordinator back when Jim was the Niners head coach. This is my first hire that the Chargers have done since Harbaugh, where I'm like, it's okay. Like, really, he's a great run game coordinator, but we've seen the quarterbacks that he's had. He's had Kaepernick, he's had Ty God, and he's had Lamar. He has a guy with Justin Herbert who does not have as much of a running threat, but I don't know. It's an okay hire in my mind.
Still got good legs to get him moving. Like, it's just going to give another another option for that offense where it's just not, Keenan Allen's down there somewhere. It's just,
and I think
he just gives them another option. I think it's a good hire.
Yeah, the big thing too, like Greg Roman's always been able to come in and implement a great system. His issue is that he never adapted over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And like we saw what happened with Lamar when Greg Roman's offense really took hold. I mean, that's when he won his first MVP. So, he can get you there. He could be a little stubborn when things stop working. And instead of adapting, just trying to force the same thing down the other team's throat when they know it's coming. Doesn't always. Yeah. But for the first 2 years,
I'm very interested to see if the Chargers and Herbert do start using his athletic ability more, because we haven't seen that since Oregon, basically. Him using his legs, and I'm sure that he will get involved. And interesting to see what that team looks like in general. Got a whole offseason talk about that, though. Let's get into some of these NFL awards. We're going to make this fairly quick, as quick as possible anyways. But so we're going to cover both rookies of the year, coach of the year, offensive player, defensive player, and then MVP. The way that the NFL does it now is they have 1 to 5 nominees, and you just rank those guys. It's like a Heisman ballot, so it's not just like this guy's the winner, check off the X. So we're going to basically fill out our own ballots here. I guess let's just start off with coach of the year. So the 5 nominees being DeMeco Ryans, Kevin Stefanski, Dan Campbell, John Harbaugh, and Kyle Shanahan. Are we all in consensus, do we think, of who's going to win the award? Do we think we're in consensus anyways?
With Cameron, you never know. I think we have the same guy here for Coach of the Year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll rattle off my 5-1 just quickly. So at 5, I got Kyle Shanahan. 4, John Harbaugh. 3, Dan Campbell. 2, DeMeco Ryans, and 1, Kevin Stefanski. I'll let you guys go rattle off yours quick. We can talk about whatever we need to talk about once you say them.
I don't need to spend a lot of time here. Your top 3 is right. Shanahan's better than Harbaugh. Next.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate there. Stefanski making the playoffs with a 50-year-old at quarterback. No.
Yeah.
I don't think much more to be said. DeMeco Ryans did a great job, but he's also got a stud at quarterback. Great offense now. So if it went to him, I really wouldn't lose sleep anyways.
I think all 3 of the top 3 guys have like very solid cases.
Yeah.
And like all could win in any given year. It just happens to be their own against each other.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, completely agreed in what you said, Keeg. Like the fact that the Browns were on their 4th string quarterback, and that 4th string quarterback was Joe Flacco off the couch, and like offensive line injuries and no Nick Chubb. It could only go to him.
It's funny. I remember this discussion.
Yeah.
But it didn't go my way. But it's okay. I digress.
Well, yeah, it's because you have the best quarterback in the NFC, don't you?
We didn't know that last time.
Yeah.
Okay, move on to Defensive Rookie of the Year. So the nominees, we got Will Anderson, Kobe Turner, Jalen Carter, Joey Porter Jr., and Devon Witherspoon. I'll quickly go my 5-1. Joey Porter Jr., Devon, Jalen Carter, Turner, and then Will Anderson winning the award. This one is like a discrepancy between us, but I think that it's Will Anderson's award to lose this year.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, I would just have Will Anderson 1, and then kind of whatever order you want, 2 to 5 there. Like that Carter was great at the start there, but just like the rest of the Eagles team later on in the season, just complete fall off.
Yeah,
exactly. Agreed. Yep, agreed.
One guy started hot, faded. The other guy started kind of slow and got better seemingly every game. So pick your poison. I don't really care. And I think there's a pretty big
I will shout out. Yeah, I will give a shout out to Kobe Turner. Really, no one. I mean, he was an afterthought in the draft. I think he was like a later round pick, and he absolutely turned it on. Obviously, playing opposite Aaron Donald makes it a little easier on you, but he had quietly a very, very good season for the Rams. On to Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think this is also one of the ones where it's really between 2 guys at the top, with that being Puka Nacua and CJ Stroud, but the other nominees, Sam Laporta, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Bijan Robinson. Again, I'll go my 5-1 quickly. We got Bijan, Laporta, Gibbs. I got CJ Stroud at number 2, and Puka Nacua winning the award. The only reason I have Puka winning over Stroud, obviously Stroud was incredible this year, was in MVP conversations at some point, but Puka Nacua literally broke a rookie receiving record that hasn't been touched for almost 60 years, I think, or something like that. And if you break an award like that, I feel like that should give you the nod for Rookie of the Year. But this one's going to be close, I think.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how the voting's going to be for the top 2 there. Like, I don't think there's any doubt it's either Puka or it's Stroud. It's probably going to be Stroud because everything's just so quarterback driven. I think at 3, I'd have Laporta.
Yep.
And then 4, I would have Gibbs, and then 5 out of Bijan.
I don't need to say anything. Keegan took the words out of my mouth.
Jeez.
Yeah. I struggled with the 3-4 if we were to put the 2 Lions guys. I mean, I don't think it really matters at the end of the day because neither of them are going to win the award. So we will keep going now. Offensive Player of the Year. We got CMC, we got CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek, Lamar Jackson, and Dak Prescott. I kind of just hate that quarterbacks can be nominated for this award. That's what MVP is for. Offensive Player of the Year, not for you. So I got Dak at 5, Lamar at 4, CD at 3, Tyreek at 2, and then CMC at 1. I think Tyreek had a real chance to win the award. But the last month of the season for him and the Dolphins was an absolute disaster. So CMC gets the nod. That's his second Offensive Player of the Year now?
No, he's never won it.
He didn't win one at the Panthers?
Nope.
Damn. Okay. Well, CMC gets his first Offensive Player of the Year then. Well, I'm going to go look at his stats because I don't know who fucking won that award then.
Pretty sure. Because they were joking on,
yeah.
I think it was First Take or First Things First or whatever, that McCaffrey has never won anything since he was Gatorade High School Player of the Year.
Yeah, you are correct. He has not won shit. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I think it was the 2019 year, and that was the year that Todd Gurley won, which fair that he won that year. I feel like we all have CMC winning though.
Yeah. I've got the exact same order that you said.
Yeah. Dakota last, CMC won. That's all that matters.
There we go.
Scoring a touchdown in every game is going to do that for you.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Defensive Player of the Year now. I think this is the only award where I don't know who's going to win. Obviously, we know that it's going to be between Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, and Micah Parsons. The other nominees, Max Crosby and Deron Bland. I'm just happy that I have a future on Garrett, Watt, and Parsons. So should be coming away with money after tonight, all to spend on the Super Bowl. But my 5, I got Deron Bland last, Micah Parsons 4, Max Crosby 3, TJ Watt 2, and then Myles Garrett 1. I just think that the voter fatigue with TJ Watt, I think TJ Watt probably deserves to win the award, but Myles Garrett deserves to get a Defensive Player of the Year award at some point. It's kind of like the Norris in hockey, where it always went to the defenseman who should have won it last year. Exactly. He's got to be due at some point, so I think Garrett gets it, but I think that it can go to any of those top 3 guys, really.
Yeah. I guess you guys Bland last, what is it, 6 pick sixes what he had this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, and his first 8 weeks and then fucking nothing the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Burnt toast.
Cool story to start, but yeah.
It's just interesting too, because with Bland, he kind of took over that Trayvon Diggs role, where it's just like the Cowboys always seem to have that follow corner, and I think that's a big part of this whole system.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see him get his recognition for the record, but that's as far as it goes for me.
Yeah, exactly. Who do you guys have winning? Garrett winning them?
No, I'll go TJ Watt.
It should be Watt, but I think it'll be Garrett. Fight that.
Yeah. Yeah. Either way, I don't. Yeah. Should be Watt. Person because of the fucking bias in the media, but I think at the end of the day, it will with on my screen. Think we're okay though, so let's just keep rolling. And finally, on to we are on to MVP now. We all know who's good. Lamar is going to be 2-time MVP in this league, but the other nominees are Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, CMC, and Josh Allen, and I have them in that order. Dak Prescott, number 5, Brock Purdy 4, CMC 3, and Josh Allen number 2, with obviously Lamar winning. I don't think I really need to explain anything there. Maybe CMC over Purdy, but I don't really feel like I need to explain that one.
I don't know. Quarterbacks are just so damn important. Now, I would have McCaffrey's great, obviously, but I think I would have him last out of all those 5. Just Just because quarterbacks is
Yeah.
so important. Actually, you know what? Dak last, CMC 4,
There you
33.
There you go. There you go. That's the way to do it.
I will say though, one thing I want to say here, and I still think he's going to win it, and I'd probably say he deserves it. But I find it really fun how Lamar's just been such a runaway favorite, and he's not leading the league in any major passing category. Like he's about to win MVP with like 25 passing touchdowns.
Yeah,
And he's
like
a lock,
his
no debate.
Yeah.
no. Yeah, like his between like this MVP and like his 2019 MVP, it's night and day. Like if you were to just compare those 2 years, you would think that Lamar like is bad. Now, not bad, but like he fell off kind of thing. If you look at
If you just did it like just based on stats,
But,
this is gonna be like one of the worst MVPs ever.
100%.
probably.
And I think
Like,
part of that.
No,
just
it
blind, like
was
if you took away the name and just looked at numbers, like it's brutal. But he's gonna win it. The quarterback of the 1 seed, making
Yep.
11 years in a row.
It is what.
yeah, it was a very weird year for the award. I mean, Lamar's MVP season, I guess. Josh Allen probably going to get second with the most turnovers in the league. A running back, the last pick overall in the draft, and then the Dallas Cowboys quarterback. So, yeah.
Most touchdowns
So-
in week 2. Don't forget.
And then finally, yeah, fuck. And finally, comeback player of the year. I'm kidding. We can move on. So yeah, Hall of Fame is also getting announced tonight, Thursday. And the finalists are Antonio Gates, Julius Peppers, Devin Hester, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Andre Johnson, Jared Allen, Patrick Willis, Fred Taylor, Rodney Harrison, Darren Woodson, Dwight Freeney, Jahari Evans, Eric Allen, and Willie Anderson. That's a lot of guys from our childhood right there. One of the guys that I am wearing their jersey, and I will be wearing this jersey on Sunday night. 5 of those guys make the Hall of Fame. And I don't know who. I think the only ones that you can say are locks for first ballot are Julius Peppers. And after that, I have no idea.
I would say probably Antonio
I think-
Gates is probably close to a lock.
Yeah.
Just because
Yeah.
his numbers from like all-time tight ends. So
Yeah.
he's probably in, but yeah, like Willis should be in, but
Mhm.
no, they get in. It takes a while for like these linebackers to get in, I find.
Yeah, no, I'd
Tough.
agree
I
with
couldn't
that.
give
Yeah,
you like
I'm-
a strong list of like which 5 are going to get into the Hall of Fame.
No. And it's like I don't know if this year is going to be the year where someone like Torrey Holt gets in. Because it's like if he doesn't get in this year, there's only like it pushes him further and further down those lists where it's like Reggie Wayne and Andre Johnson both need to get in at some point. I mean, every one of these guys need to get in at some point, but yeah. Again, I don't really know, and I think consensus none of us knows this is a very strong finalist class. I am shocked, not shocked that Devin Hester like made the finalist, but I thought it would take him longer to become a finalist just because he is. I mean, he's the best kick returner, punt returner of all time. But I'll be interested to see how long it takes him to actually get into the Hall. Because I thought it was probably going to be 10 plus years, but if he's a finalist in his first year of eligibility, it might be sooner than that. But yeah, any other notes, Hall of Fame stuff, or we'll try to get right into the game right now?
I'm good.
Let's get to the game.
We're okay. Let's get to the game. Super Bowl Sunday. Hurry up, score. Oh, the line shifted again. Score says Niners -1.5. Total set at 47.5. The game is being played in Las Vegas. I don't know. And I guess let's just start off easy. Let's start with some nice novelty props. You know, we'll do coin toss, Gatorade color, anthem length. Let's just start with this. Is it going to be heads or tails? Coin toss.
Tails.
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 Tails never fails. There we go.
Chalk.
Have we put out our bets for Gatorade color yet? I know I have because I'm a degenerate.
No.
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 I saw somebody almost got McCaffrey to talk. He said his favorite flavor is orange, but he doesn't know what they're going to do.
I think I bet yellow/green, and then it was like red/pink, and I'm like, I didn't even know that there was pink Gatorade, but yeah. And then the anthem this year is sung by lovely Reba McEntire. I did some digging on the internet to find out some other anthems that she has sung. I think the total is set at 90 and a half seconds. And in the anthems that I watched, she was well under that. Those anthems, however, were from like 30 and 40 years ago, but she hit the unders then. So if she's consistent, then she should hit the under for the game too. But
I think you got to go over here, man. This is the biggest stage in sports, pretty much. Yep.
She's due for it.
There you go.
Fuck.
They want to put on a show and they want to make
she's due for an over.
So, longer notes near the start, near the end as well. I think this goes over.
Okay. A couple more things before we get to actual game talk and matchup talk. Super Bowl Media Day, obviously, big ramp up for the week. And there was some weird questions asked that should have just stayed on Twitter, because Twitter is a weird place, but sometimes it gets out into the actual real world and people think it's a decent question to ask. One of those questions asked to Cam's quarterback, Brock Purdy. The comparison was made that he looks like Lee Harvey Oswald. If you don't know who that is, he's the assassin who killed JFK. But yeah, the comparisons were being made where, Brock and Lee Harvey Oswald, they each get carried by their weapons, and it is what it is. But you shouldn't ask that at an actual media event.
All I know is that my quarterback has a killer instinct.
There you go. There's the positive spin on it. But yeah, weird question to get asked at like a media, one of like the biggest media event of the year for football, and you get asked if you look like the guy who killed JFK. And yeah, the other question was some German reporter asked Andy Reid if he knows the right-wing conspiracy theory that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl because Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce have a pact with the Illuminati, and the NFL is pushing Taylor Swift to get the Democratic vote and the Joe Biden vote. Andy Reid's response to that question was, "That's out of my league," which very fair. But again, Super Bowl media, these are questions.
They wouldn't deny it.
No. There you go. There we go. Thinking 5 steps ahead. Yeah, and I guess one more thing. So I don't know if you guys have actually seen this, but guess what the range for like a seat price is for the game. If you had to throw something out there.
I think
lowest to highest price.
I think I saw it start at like 6,000.
I thought I saw 10. But
yeah, it can be 10 too. To like what, 50?
Yeah. So yeah, it was so it was 6,300 to 44,000 per seat. Which is absolutely fucked. Like, I don't know how anyone can, again, it's turned into a corporate event at this point. It's not something that the fans really get to experience anymore, which is just kind of sad. But yeah, I saw that. I thought I had to bring that up because those are insane numbers. Can you imagine spending $44,000 on like a 100-level seat to go watch a football game?
If we go to Vegas,
get a couple parlays.
Yeah,
you're there. We'll be on the field.
Yeah, go to Vegas now. Sit at the table. By kickoff, we can get in.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, let's get into some actual hard-cutting analysis of this game. Starting off with, I got 3 things that are all working against the Niners for this coming Sunday here. Starting off with This will be the 4th Super Bowl rematch between head coaches. Chuck Noll, Tom Landry, Jimmy Johnson, Marv Levy, Tom Coughlin, Bill Belichick, and now Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan. In each of the previous 3 instances, the team that won the first game won the second matchup. Doesn't look good for the Niners. In the last 30 years, every team the Super Bowl has been played in between the 2 teams, one team traveling east and one team traveling west. The team traveling west has won every single time. The Chiefs are obviously traveling west, while the Niners are traveling east. Another knock for the Niners. And now we get into the most concerning part of everything, the lunar cycle. The Chiefs are 19-1 in the last 5 years under waxing crescent moon conditions. And Cameron, this leads me to my first point. How worried are you that all the odds are getting stacked against the Niners in this one?
Well, Jason, I got a question for you actually to answer that.
Yes.
What was Kyle Shanahan's record when losing by 7 or more points going into the 4th quarter before the season?
I don't know, like 1-20.
Right. And what was his record when losing by 14 plus points at any point in the game?
I don't know.
He never won as a Niners head coach in that scenario. Both of those things happened in our playoff games this year. So this team is built to break trends. And that's what's going to happen to all 3 of those stats you just brought.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing. I'm right there with you. I'm on the Niners breaking all of these trends this year. Because I just don't see a way how the Chiefs come away with this one. And as I was looking at props to build like the parlays we're going to talk about at the end here, everything is just, I'm completely in on the Niners. I don't like it's like, oh, they got Travis Kelce, but I mean, Fred Warner, one of the best off-ball linebackers in the league, he will be on him for most of the game. It's tough, but I guess, yeah, let's just start talking about matchups, and I feel like it will come down to the offensive line versus the defensive lines on both sides of the ball. But I don't know. I'm in on the Niners. I hate it.
Kansas City's defense and how that's probably been like the best unit. Well, it's definitely been the best unit for them this year. No, it's like the first game for Kansas City
by far.
Playoffs, against the banged up Dolphins defense. They moved the ball with ease. Same thing against Buffalo. They had the linebacker who's going on vacation covering Travis Kelce. That didn't work out. Then against Baltimore, they scored 17 points in the first half, then punted 7 times after that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's not really the offense that should be getting the storylines, in my opinion, for Kansas City. It should be the defense. And that probably is going to be the key for them if they can get a couple takeaways off of Purdy, who has had some shaky moments in the first half of both games against Green Bay and against Detroit, but bounced back in the second half of both games. So, but is he going to give those same opportunities to a really good secondary?
No.
I don't know. We'll see.
I'm also not trying to see them go down against Mahomes. Like, I know we're just talking about the defense, but at the same time, it's like you came back against a rookie and Jared Goff. Patrick Mahomes is not giving up that lead.
No.
As soon as they start making that comeback, that pedal's going down.
Yeah. And I mean, Keeg, you did say it best. It's the Niners haven't looked like the Niners did kind of in the season, where they're just steamrolling everyone, easy peasy. They've struggled. I mean, they've been down in both games so far in this playoffs. And yeah, I think if the Niners don't start off hot and like on the ball like immediately, the game could go away from them quickly, because this Chiefs defense is going to pounce immediately. I mean, other than Trent Williams on the offensive line, you got 4 guys who are just okay at what they do, and they're going against Chris Jones and
Spags as well as the coordinator.
It's going to be a tough. Yeah.
I go back to a couple of those games too. where, like opportunistic as well, like with the Carlson missed kick. They go down and score to take the lead, and now it's a rookie on the road against the #1 team. He's got to go down and score. Dan Campbell just way too far in his head, going for it on 4th down. He got his aggressive nature, but you have a chance to go up 3 scores, you don't do it. Like you give those opportunities to Mahomes. Are they going to screw up?
No.
I don't know. I don't think so. So I think San Fran's got to start hot and not get down early, in my opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I will say the good thing too now is that after these last 2 games, I do have more confidence. Like if we had just steamrolled the last, the Packers and the Lions, and then the Chiefs got out to that lead, I'm happy now that they've had the experience of dealing with that adversity and having to come back in big moments. They're going to have that experience that, maybe some of the other guys had it come over the years, but Brock Purdy had it, and he's the most important player out there for the Niners. So I've seen him do it twice now. So obviously the Chiefs is a bigger test, but I'm not going to feel as hopeless if, say, the Chiefs jump out to a 10-point lead.
No, and I think that is the difference between this Super Bowl rematch is 4 years ago, you didn't trust your quarterback in coming from behind and stealing a win, where now you've seen Brock Purdy do it twice in big stages when it matters in the playoffs. And weird to say that Mr. Irrelevant is going to be the difference maker in this one. And like earlier in the week, I did like my rankings of the Super Bowls, and I talked about that Chiefs-Niners game, and just looking back at like those teams now compared to where they are like now, it's like the Niners just got better on every position possible, where the Chiefs just kind of flipped what works for them. Is now the offense is like okay, and their defense is lights out, where before it was the offense is lights out and the defense was just okay. And it's and it's the Mahomes factor. You got to take that into account. But I hate I hate how confident I am with the Niners, though. I'll say that. It scares me.
Another thing too is that San Fran's got to be very good with ball security, as Mahomes only has 4 interceptions in 4 games with interceptions in 17 playoff games. Usually he goes like 1 interception every 2 games in the regular season, but he's very safe with the ball in the playoffs, and they don't stretch the field as much with this offense. They're very methodical. They go down and chop plays. Maybe they'll dial 1 or 2 up for MVS down the field. But other than that, you can't give Kansas City any short field.
Yeah, and they don't have to worry
about going to turn it over.
And they don't have to worry about their quarterback being called the game manager when he dumps it off for the whole second half.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so they don't care about narratives. Maybe they do.
I don't know. Do we just want to talk about like some one-on-one matchups and like talk about these Niners weapons going against this Chiefs secondary? Because I think you could argue that this Chiefs secondary, and I think probably as of late especially, but could you say that the Chiefs secondary is the best in the league?
It's been really damn good. I wouldn't argue against it. Like the probably back it up too. I think you probably have Darius Sneed on Ayuk, and then so the X factor for San Francisco for me is probably going to be Debo, actually, because you can how he's going to be in the run game. Like obviously, he's going to get his yards, but maybe like just a catch underneath and go get him in the backfield. I think he's the huge X factor there, and then having a great blocker in Kittle as well. Like just opening things up for Debo in the run game, I think is going to be massive.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think the other big thing too is that Debo being a bit of a chess piece, you can find matchups where he has success. And it's like if he goes up against, you got him running through the slot against McDuffie and doesn't have success, you can switch him out and find another you can't always do that with everybody else. Kittle's always going to be up against these linebackers and safeties. Ayuk is probably going to be against Snead most of the game. Like, Debo is, like you said, the X factor, because you can move him around and find those gaps. And that is what Kyle Shanahan is so good at doing. So I do have a lot of confidence there. I also really want to see them push Kittle this game, because I found he was way too quiet the last two games. And, when you need a big play with this team, all the skill around it, I want Kittle to get the ball. And even though they came back, that was one thing I found was lacking from their game plans the last 2 weeks. So I really want to see that. And I think Kittle's good enough to beat these Chiefs linebackers. Like, I think they're underrated, but I still think Kittle should be feasting on them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, Keeg, you said it. I think that Debo is definitely the X factor for the Niners. But what you just said too, Cam, is I think that if Debo and Kittle both have good games, because the rest, because that CMC is going to get his yards regardless. But if Debo has a good game and Kittle has a good game, I don't see a way that the Chiefs can keep up scoring points with the Niners. Especially because we haven't talked about the Niners defense yet, where it hasn't been as good as you would hope, kind of. It's a very good defense, but not as good as we've seen recently, but it's still
they've been getting
Nick Bosa. You're gonna get what? You're gonna get killed in the run game?
No, they've been getting killed in the run game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Montgomery and what's his name? Aaron Jones. They probably put up the most yards in a 2-game stretch that this team has allowed in the last 5 years or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's been really frustrating to watch.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that the Chiefs are missing. I think that Jerick McKinnon got activated off IR. He's trending towards not playing. I think Andy Reid said he was going to be a long shot, which is really too bad, because if he was going to play in this one, he would have been in way too many of my parlays, because I think they would have used him a ton. Because what I've been seeing from all the stats nerds online is the Niners are very bad in stopping outside zone runs, and that's something like Aaron Jones likes to do, like Jahmyr Gibbs likes to do, not what Isaiah Pacheco likes to do. That man runs between the tackles and steps a million times before he gets to the 5-yard mark. But so I'm interested to see what Andy Reid, with 2 weeks under his belt, has to cook up, because the ball's going to Travis Kelce. The ball is good to go to Rashee Rice. But who else on this Chiefs offense is going to step up? I almost bet Kadarius Toney anytime TD, because someone has to do something other than those two guys and obviously Isaiah Pacheco. And I don't know who it's going to be. It was Toney last year. He really showed up in the Super Bowl, but I don't know who's going to be potentially the big X factor on the Chiefs this year.
I think it's just going to be all on the legs there. I think Pacheco possibly breaking off a big run of 15, 20 yards a couple times, which he has been very capable of doing this year. And Mahomes running. That is the scary fact. And I don't know how much Wilkes is gonna blitz. I wouldn't do it at all against Mahomes. I don't think it's very smart to do. So, but he's a wizard, right? He just kind of does his own thing. So the Mahomes breaking off a first down run, that's gonna be the play, or just Kansas City getting short fields.
Yeah. No, I don't think they're gonna really rely on blitz. This team hasn't been a really blitz heavy team throughout the year. I definitely want to see not so much soft zone like they were running the Lions in the first half. They were just getting killed by Laporta and killed by that first half. I was ready to fire Steve Wilkes at halftime for that game plan. I was pissed.
Yeah.
And, like I said, you can do that against a really young, experienced Lions team. And, by the fucking grace of God, you got away with it. But you do that against the Chiefs, and they're not going to make those mistakes. You know what I mean? So you got to really button that up. And they've been talking about it. Fred Warner's been saying a lot that their performance has been acceptable, and that's a big emphasis for them. So I'm confident in the leadership group, but I really don't see it early.
Yeah. Is this the first game that Chase Young actually shows up in a Niners uniform this week, Cam?
No, I don't care. I'm Chase Young. I think that, especially that Gibbs play, was just kind of the cherry on top, but he's been very much a no-show since we got him. And, you know, it was a really cool story and all that. And he had like a sack in his first game with Bosa, a cool moment. And to be honest, I don't think I heard his name until he started getting ripped for that Gibbs play. Like, I don't know. I hope so. Don't get me wrong. It'd be really nice to get the edge production outside of Bosa. But I don't, if you're relying on that for success, you're fucked.
It would not shock me if Chase Young just has like the game of his life just because he's going to be a free agent this offseason, and then he has the game of his life and then wins the Super Bowl and then just gets a bag from who's a stupid enough team to give Chase Young an insane contract. The Raiders? That seems like something they would do.
Yeah, Miami didn't have any defensive.
You say Miami? No. Fuck off. Fuck off. We have too many. We get Andrew Van Ginkel much better than Chase Young. I can say that. So are we all in on the Niners then? We're all. I mean, obviously, Cam. We know you're on the Niners. I'm wearing the Niners jersey. Geeg, no, you're taking the Chiefs.
No, I think I'm taking the Chiefs, especially like I think we're sitting at what two. I've seen 2.5 at. Yeah, I think it's 2.5.
It fucking
now, so I don't know. I think
it
like
changes like. Yeah. On FanDuel, it's 2.5. On the score, it's 1.5 right now.
Yeah, so like over like come on 2.5, like a game ending like 26-24, like very plausible. Like
I don't blame you one bit, but I hope you lose all your.
I mean, the sum as simple as Mahomes is 10-1-1 against the spread in his career as an underdog.
Yeah.
It's sometimes it's just that simple.
If it wasn't my team in the race, I'd probably be on the Chiefs too. But fuck you.
See, that doesn't give me a lot of confidence, Cam. What the fuck? Like, because again, when I was sitting here and I'm going through the notes and I'm going through like the betting stuff, it's just the Chiefs offense just hasn't been great the entire year, but it is the Pat Mahomes X factor, and he turns it on when it matters most, and he does things that no quarterbacks can do in this league. But I don't know. I'm going to bet the Niners. I'm bucking the trend. I'll ride with the Brock Purdy storyline because if Brock Purdy can win a Super Bowl, that means guys like Tua can win a Super Bowl, and everyone can shut the fuck up about it. But no, yeah.
You need to be at least the tier 2 quarterback to win Super Bowl. Come on.
Fuck off. He is a tier 2 guy. Okay, so I gave you guys the task to cook up some 5+ leg parlays. Cam, I will get you to start off with the parlay that you cooked up here. What do we got?
All right. I'll start out with the bad first. And I will take my first leg is Travis Kelce over 6.5 receptions. I know Fred Warner's really good, but it's Travis Kelce. We've never seen anybody shut him down. So, and I know that in the clutch moments, Mahomes is going to where he trusts the most. So Kelce over 6.5 is my first leg. I'll ride the hype train of last week, and we're going to go Brock Purdy over 12.5 rushing yards. I think especially too, like, this is maybe just me getting too far into it, but I think after last week's performance, there could be Kyle might dial up some runs for Purdy the first 2 drives of the game just to get into their heads, and then
Yeah.
lay off it with some nice play action going down the rest of the way, because it's on their minds. Right, you just had so many great rush plays last week. You bring it in early and make it seem like it's part of your game plan, and then back off. 12.5 is not fair to get for 2 or 3 runs. And I'll go with the easy leg. I threw in a McCaffrey touchdown because I didn't know what the 5th leg should be.
It's an easy one.
Yeah.
Actually, good value. Minus 230. Come on.
Yeah.
It should be like minus 350.
Yeah. No, it's great value. Then the second last leg, I think Brandon Ayuk is going to have a huge game, to be honest. Purdy has been loving him down the stretch this year. And Snead's a good corner, but I think Purdy, this is his moment because he's also going to be wanting to bag this summer. He's already kind of gaining that respect around the league. You go out and have a big Super Bowl performance, and you can really push him to that money where the Niners can't keep him anymore. That's a problem for another day, but for the Super Bowl, I think that's his motivation, and I think a touchdown from him is big. And then we put the cherry on top of the Niners money line.
So what are the odds then? What are we looking at?
When I plugged that into DraftKings, it was plus 1,500.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. All right, Keeg, I'll let you go.
Mine's boring. It's not super high odds, but it's a guaranteed winner. So I'm going Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown scorer. No explanation.
There you go.
Isaiah Pacheco, anytime touchdown scorer. I think once they get into 5, they're just going to pound the rock that they have been doing with Pacheco. It works. And in the playoffs, the ground game has worked. So I think Pacheco scores. I'm going to go Kelsey just to get 6 receptions, just so I don't get screwed on the hook there. And then I'm bringing the total down to 40.5. I can see both teams getting over 20 points here. And then I'm bringing the Chiefs up to plus 7.5 because in case this game does end 27-20 for San Francisco, I'm getting the hook, and that's paying at plus 411. So call your mom, call your dad, call your grandma, ask for some money, put it on this because it's winning.
That's not bad. And again, obviously no parlays are safe, but that sounds like a pretty safe 5-leg parlay there. So also I will be betting all of our parlays. Obviously I already have mine locked in, but yeah. So my 5-leg parlay starts off with a Deebo Samuel anytime TD. We talked about it. We all think that Deebo will be an X factor in this game. I think that he will get involved, whether that is in the quick screen game, running the ball too. I mean, Deebo does it all. So Deebo anytime TD. I got George Kittle over 49.5 yards. I also think, again, Cameron, I'm kind of on the opposite page of you. I think that Ayuk is going to have not a quiet game, but not be one of those Ayuk games where he goes off for like 100 whatever plus yards. And I think Kittle will need to get involved. Kittle over 49.5 yards plus rushing yards on the alt line there. I think CMC is going to have a field day running the ball. I got Deebo Samuel over 4.5 receptions. Again, I don't think that Deebo will get involved early in a quick passing game in motion, setting up screens for him. So over 4.5 Deebo receptions. And my final leg, this is just quietly kept jumping up. Oh, is my voice being all weird? Is it bad or
robotic a bit
just
there.
keep going?
I think you're good to keep going.
Yeah, you're good now. Yeah.
But like it's okay. Yeah. It's not awful.
Okay. A couple sports,
yeah. But... So the final leg, which is it is what it is. No one really listens anyway, so we'll just keep going. But yeah, so the final leg of the parlay, we got MVS Marquez Valdez Scantling over 20.5 yards. And it's kept climbing basically since at the start of the week. Now, yeah, I see the low network bandwidth now again. Are we good now?
No, you're good. Just don't listen to Cameron. Don't
better.
listen to him.
My thumbs down was for your bet, not for the connection.
Oh, okay. Because like literally as you did the thumbs down, I got the notification across being like, so I was like, ah, fuck. But yeah. MVS over 20 and a half yards. This has climbed basically since the odds have been posted. I think it's just gone up since. And I'm just banking on him getting one deep throw from Pat Mahomes. So we will see. You add all those together, comes out to plus 2,267. Also, since I have my bets up, and they have a bet, a player to have the most yards after catch, single reception. I bet go by 40 there. Just, I feel like that's a bet that you could also like.
Talking about favorite bets. I think my favorite bet is Elijah Mitchell under 1.5 rushing attempts. This is gonna be a sweat all the way to the end, but yeah, it's pretty much betting on McCaffrey not getting injured.
Yeah.
He's been playing 100% of the snaps, and the only time Mitchell got in is when McCaffrey had that big run and landed on his head.
And then Mitchell vultured the touchdown.
That was the only time. So, and this is the Super Bowl. He's not taking him out for Elijah Mitchell. And if he is taking McCaffrey out, it's probably going to be Debo back there.
Yeah. But Keegan, you're forgetting what happens when the Niners are up by 28 points.
Yeah. You think taking McCaffrey out of the Super Bowl?
We need to save McCaffrey for preseason next year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
He's got a wedding coming. Yeah, to be hobbling
down.
Good. FanDuel also has a special where it's Chris Jones and Nick Bosa each to record half a sack, and that's at plus 340. And I also have Travis Kelce catch one targets at plus 800. A little bit of a weird one there, but are either of you guys betting on Kelce proposed to Taylor Swift after the game?
No, it's not happening.
No. Even if they were thinking about it, I don't see it because I think they're going to want that to be an event on its own. I don't think they're going to want the Super Bowl to potentially like conflict with a proposal.
Know if we have anything else to really cover here. Any final thoughts on the game before we have next August, unfortunately?
I've got an announcement to make, Jason. The money line bet has been decided for the amount. So we're not going to follow up on the 2019 disaster that was the $600 loss, but I have decided that as of tonight, I will be getting paid out for my Lamar Jackson MVP and for my Christian McCaffrey Offensive Player of the Year. That is going to bring me about $160, $170, and I'm going to top that up to $250.
There you go. There we go. That's a big bet from Cam. Keegan, somehow on the Chiefs, but I mean, Pat Mahomes has done a lot of bad things to your fan base, so I completely get it. I haven't had those nightmares from Mahomes. I don't know. I think this is going to be a very good game. I am excited.
He's got Stockholm.
What? He just might have Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a great NFL season. It just keeps being very, very choppy. So if you like this, please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for coming on. Peace.